Hey everybody, it's John Shin here again at Empower Brokerage with more questions and answers today in this video. One of the big topics that we hear here are what are your rights as a Medicare beneficiary, and of course all this is included. Most of these questions that we get can be answered directly from the Medicare New Handbook. This is the 2020 version. Also, you can go to Medicare.gov and find the answer to just about every question that you could think of is going to be found right here. So a question we get a lot is about knowing your rights and appeals. Do you have a doctor if you think you've been mistreated or not treated fairly? Do you have any rights as a Medicare beneficiary? And of course, I would think that we would all know that we do have rights, and these rights are listed here. Actually, I'm going to touch on just a few of these here. They're on the Medicare New Handbook here. This is a big, thick version because we make notes all over those here at our office at Empower Brokerage where we get to these. But these are, no matter how you get your Medicare, you have these certain rights and protections that you should know about, and they're easy to find and easy to check on, especially if you think that you're not being treated fairly. You may not have been able to receive services, or you may not have been charged properly in your opinion. So you can look at it. So number one is, and this is important to know, is that no matter who you are or where you come from, one of the main things that you have rights are regarding your dignity. You have the government, Medicare, all the providers, or the number one goal here is to provide you with dignity and respect at all times. And so that's important to know, that's the goal. And to be protected against discrimination, no matter what your race is, no matter what your age is, or what language you speak, you're going to be treated respectfully and with dignity. And if you're not, you have the rights that you can ask about. So discrimination, no discrimination. You can have your personal and health information protected. It's against the law, heavily guarded information as to what's going on with you physically regarding your health. So you want to know this. You take notes on this. You can do that, or you can watch the video, or really you can come to Medicare and look this up. But it's important for you to know that everybody is equal when your health care is being delivered by the government and being paid for by the government. You definitely have rights. So to be able to get information in a format and language that you understand is another right that you have, and it's required that insurance companies and healthcare providers provide this information to you in a format that you can understand. That you can have your questions about Medicare answered. You have that right. No matter what, if you don't understand something, you can ask that question until you get an answer for it. That is a right that you have. You also have a right to have access to doctors and other healthcare providers and specialists at the hospitals for medically necessary services. You have the right to learn about the treatment choices that you have available to you in a clear language. So no matter how much time it takes, don't be in a hurry. Make sure that you get what you're entitled to. So your rights and entitlements are guaranteed and protected by federal law. You can get Medicare covered services in an emergency anywhere. So you don't have to necessarily be in a certain network or a certain state. If you have an automobile accident and you're in another state, you're entitled to Medicare services in all emergency situations. So don't worry about that. That's the last thing you should be worried about. Also, you have the right to get a decision about a healthcare payment or coverages that you're not clear about. So if you've been charged for something and you owe something and you don't think that you owe that, you're entitled and protected by federal law to get an answer to what those charges are for, and to be very clear about that. So you don't have to worry about whether or not you're getting treated fairly by a healthcare provider. You have the right for a review of, if you get an opinion, somebody's provider charges you for something and you disagree with that or you don't understand it, you're entitled to a review. They call that an appeal. We're going to talk about that in another video. But appeals are very important because you don't have to just necessarily take the very first answer that as the final rule on that, you get another appeal by someone different. We'll talk about that appeals process in just a minute. But again, these are it's a summary of all the rights and entitlements that you have as a Medicare beneficiary. Also, we'll talk about this in another bit, but you have the right to file a grievance. That's if you disagree with everything, and there's a way to do that so that this is going to be formally, this appeal and this disagreement can be formally filed with the government, and you're going to have help just determining who's right and who's wrong about that. Okay, everybody, so I hope that helps a lot. You can find this information, just like I said, it's readily available in the Medicare Review Handbook. All kinds of things have. Your insurance agent would have this. Your doctor should have this. Lots of people have these. Social Security has these booklets, or you can look this up online. Hope this helped today, and we'll see you on the next video.